Good afternoon, and thank you for joining Conversations for College Success. I would like to thank my subscribers and listeners in 5 countries. If you are a new or a consistent listener, I ask you to become a subscriber. The topic today is knowing when to ask for help. Think about the last time you were stuck and you didn't know what to do. You could not figure it out. You were put on a PIP or you were let go by your employer. Maybe it was a work task you kept redoing or could not figure it out, a personal decision you kept overthinking, or a problem you were trying to power through because you did not want to bother anyone else. Today I'm discussing the skill that saves time. It reduces stress and it helps you grow faster. That skill is knowing when to ask for help. Also, how to ask in a way that gets you moving forward without giving up your power. I will cover 3 things or concerns: why asking for help can feel hard, the signs it is time to reach out, and 3, a simple framework to ask clearly and confidently. Why we hesitate to ask. For a lot of us, asking for help is hard. It does not feel like a neutral action. It can feel like a confession. For example, we're admitting we are not smart enough, experienced enough, or capable enough. Here are a few common reasons that we hesitate. We fear looking incompetent. I should already know this. Not wanting to burden others. Everyone's busy and has their own work to do. Perfectionist. If I ask too early, I must not be trying hard enough. Independence as identity. I'm the one who handles these things and gets things done. Past experiences. Maybe you were dismissed, criticized, or even told you were too needy. But here's how to reframe your thinking regarding asking for help. It is not a weakness. It is a strategy. It is information gathering. It is risk management. It's collaboration. And is often the fastest path to a better outcome. Signs it's time to ask for help. How do you know when it's time? Here are several practical signs. As you listen, notice which ones apply to you or apply to you most often. You have been circling the same problem. You keep rereading, reworking, or replaying it without progress. The cost of waiting is rising. Deadlines, money, safety, or relationships are on the line. You're missing information you cannot easily or reasonably get by yourself. You need context, access, or expertise. Your emotions are running the show. You are stuck in anxiety, frustration, shame, or overload. And it is narrowing your thinking. You have tried 2 or 3 solid approaches, not a quick attempt, real effort, and you still feel blocked. The problem keeps leaking into everything else: your sleep, your focus, your confidence, or your health. All are getting hit. You're working outside your role or skill level. That it is not failure, it is a signal to learn with support. A quick example. Imagine you are building a presentation and you have spent an hour polishing slides, but you're still unsure what decision the audience needs to make. That is a classic moment to ask for help early. Clarity beats perfection. A 5-minute conversation can save 5 hours of rework. How to ask for help. Asking for help goes smoothly when it is specific. Following is a simple framework you can use at work, at school, and in life. It is called CLEAR. CLEAR stands for context, listen, effort, ask, recap. C is for context. What are you trying to do and why does it matter? Keep it to 1 or 2 sentences. L, listen. Listen for the real problem. Be open to the possibility that you are solving the wrong thing or the wrong problem. E, for effort. Share what you have already tried and what happened. This can build trust. A, ask. Make a clear request for a review, a decision, a resource, or a next step. R, recap. Repeat back what you have heard and share your next action. Asking for help within your workplace. In the workplace, asking for help is often less about not knowing and more about alignment. You can be talented, hardworking, and still lose time if you are unclear on priorities, scope, or what done looks like. A great moment to ask is when you notice you are making lots of progress on tasks, but you're not sure they are the right tasks. Try framing your request around impact and options. This is the goal. This is what I have tried, and here are 2 paths that I can take. Can you tell me which one fits the team's priorities? That approach protects current timelines, reduces rework, and shows ownership. And if the help you need is capacity, name it early. If we keep the deadline, I will need either X, descoped, which means to reduce the scope, objectives, or features of a project, usually to meet deadlines, budget constraints, or simply requirements. Or an extra pair of hands to do or complete Y. Asking for help when you are asking for help when you are a student. What can students do? For students, asking for help could be a study skill, not a last resort. The best time to reach out is when confusion is still small and specific. You can point to the exact step in the math problem, the paragraph in the reading, or the rubric requirement that you do not understand. If you wait until the night before, particularly an exam, you're not just asking for help, you're asking to be rescued. Use the CLEAR method, which is context, listen, effort, ask, and recap with teachers, tutors, or classmates. Share the assignment context, show your effort, and ask a focused question. For example, I tried solving this problem using the formula from page 42, but I keep getting a negative value at step 3. Can you check where my reasoning breaks down? That kind of question builds confidence because you're learning in the process, not just collecting answers. Following are 3 quick scripts you can try and ask. For clarity, I'm aiming for an X outcome. The decision I need is Y. Do you agree this is the right target before I keep building? When you feel blocked, I tried A and B. I am still stuck at step C. Could you point me to the right resource or tell me what I am missing? For feedback, could you review this with one lens, Does the main point land in the first 30 seconds? If not, where do you get lost? One more tip. Asking for help does not mean handing off responsibility. You can keep good boundaries by naming what you own. If you can give me a direction, I will take it from there. That signals respect for their time and your own growth. A quick exercise. It is a 60-second check-in. The next time you're stuck, pause and ask yourself, what's the smallest version of this problem I can describe in one sentence? What have I already tried? What kind of help would actually move me forward? And you're looking at clarity, feedback, expertise, or capacity. Who's the best person to ask? And what's the least intrusive way to ask them? What I hope you will take away is that asking for help is not a last resort. It is a decision you can make early when the stakes are lower and the path is clearer. Watch for signs of being stuck and use the clear framework to ask with confidence. If this podcast has helped you to know when to ask for help, share it with someone who tends to carry everything alone and become a subscriber. I have a challenge for you today. Ask one good question that saves you 1 hour of unnecessary work. Thank you for listening to Conversations for College Success, and send your questions to conversationsforcollegesuccess@hotmail.com. Again, send questions to conversationsforcollegesuccess@hotmail.com. This is the last podcast for spring semester, and I will return in August 2026 because next week is the last week of classes. Good luck with your finals. Also, good luck with your co-ops, internships, and full-time employment upon graduation if you're graduating this semester. Until August 2026, when Conversations for College Success returns, keep learning, keep growing, and keep showing up as your best self. Bye-bye.